Viewers, the big story this week, it has to be Bangladesh. Look at what is happening in the last few days. Complete chaos as the country has descended into utter anarchy. Newspaper offices have been gutted. A young Hindu man was dragged out, lynched in ISIS-style killing. It was a public execution. Well, all it took was one rumor and Bangladesh plunged into chaos, turmoil, violence. You could see that in video after video that were coming to light. It started with rumors that the killers of Sheikh Osman Hadi escaped to India, an incorrect campaign, misinformation. And what it led was a complete anarchy of the country. Hadi was a student leader who was part of the 2024 student-led uprising and had made repeatedly he had threatened India for its northeast. The rumor was an excuse that allowed Islamists and jihadis to take to streets to loot, plunder, destroy, burn anything, absolutely anything that linked any part of Bangladesh to India. And what you saw on your screens is what Bangladesh has been witnessing in the last couple of days. First up, listen in to what is it that Mohammed Yunus is saying, even as then we ask, what is it that he's actually doing? But first up, listen in to what he's saying.
আগামী দিনগুলোতে আমাদের সবাইকে ধৈর্য, সংযম, সাহস ও দূরদর্শিতার সঙ্গে এগিয়ে যেতে হবে, যাতে নির্বাচন ও গণতন্ত্রের শত্রু ফ্যাসিস্ট সন্ত্রাসী অপশক্তিকে চূড়ান্তভাবে পরাজিত করা যায়। এই শোকের মুহূর্তে আসুন আমরা শহীদ শরীফ ওসমান হাদির আদর্শ ও ত্যাগকে শক্তিতে পরিণত করি।
Now viewers, with elections less than 2 months away, the question to ask is who stands to gain from this violence? Is it the jihadis who have been mainstreamed now and will have to be reined in under an elected government? Or is there more than what meets the eye? Now, let's be clear about one thing. This did not happen overnight. Bangladesh's fall has been orchestrated by those who fanned anti-India sentiment. And let's tell you, how is it that Bangladesh has actually reached where it has? A country that has disowned the father of nation, removed secularism from its constitution, and embraced its former oppressor, Pakistan. I'm going to walk you through the new Bangladesh that Mohammed Yunus now talks about. Look at the veiled reforms he has put in and what all he has done. 200 plus radical Islamists have been freed in the country. He's completely erased Mujibur Rahman from nation's history. Open defecation on Mujibur Rahman statues have taken place. He's been removed from the currency note as well. The socialism, secularism, which was enshrined in the constitution, has been removed. 9% of minorities are facing those threats. And renewed ties with Pakistan. There have been army exchanges, customs, visas, a multiple set of norms have been revised. And the banned Awami League, and in fact, he banned Awami League, and Jamaat-e-Islami has returned. And Jamaat-e-Islami is the reason why you are seeing that violence on the streets. Now viewers, there are two sides to the Bangladesh turmoil, and that needs to be identified. On one end are the global political realities, the role of China, Pakistan, due to the strategic location of Bangladesh and Northeast, and via all of them eyeing the Chittagong port. It's a very strategically located port. And on the other end is how is it that Mohammed Yunus will deal with the present flux. And on that, just remember, Mohammed Yunus has announced that Osman Hadi's family will be taken care of by the state. He needs to announce the same thing for Dipu Chandra Das, the boy, the Hindu boy who was publicly executed. If not, then the world will know which side is Mohammed Yunus standing on. And to know more about what really is happening as far as Bangladesh is concerned, let's get in Dr. Richard Benkin, someone who's written about Bangladesh for about 20 years. Dr. Benkin, I'm going to start by asking you about Bangladesh's descent. You've been seeing this for the last couple of years, but has this come as a shock to you?
No, I've been saying, and many others, of course, have also been saying that for the last year and a half, Yunus is pretty much just a fig leaf, and that the real power in Bangladesh since the ouster of Sheikh Hasina has been the Islamists. And this is a result of what happened. It's very much the playbook that we saw in Iran in 1979. So I think that's one. Number two, I've been going to Bangladesh for 20 years, and I have been shocked throughout that time at the undercurrent and a very strong anti-India sentiment Now, if you look at the history of how Islamists come to power, they often will focus on a symbol that they can then get people agitated about to their cause. And in this case, it's India. India is the big bully next door, and from their perspective, even though, of course, as everyone knows, Bangladesh was only born because of the Indian military. So none of this should surprise anyone. And again, if we look at Iran, the 1979 revolution was building for a long time, but it just happened so quickly that, what we're saying right now might be obsolete in 24 to 48 hours because there might be a new set of circumstances on the ground.
Which brings me to ask you about the role of China and Pakistan. We've spoken about the Islamists. What about the role of China and Pakistan?
With regards to China, I know that Prime Minister Modi has been really quite adept at maintaining relations with China, despite the fact that China and India have a good many geopolitical and other conflicts that they have to somehow deal with. However, he has maintained a good relationship with them. If in fact China is helping to fan those flames, what kind of diplomatic pressure can India bring to bear on China? What kind of agreements and relationships can India then call into question? In fact, hasn't China recently called for India and China to take a united stance against tariffs and trade wars? Well, what if India tells Xi Jinping, you want us to do it? Then you need to behave yourself and do the right thing with regard to Bangladesh, because it's even worse than we think. Because as you know, China has always had its eyes on Chittagong port as a warm water port on the Bay of Bengal. But we know now that China is also developing the Mangla port on the Bay of Bengal, south of Khulna, near India. So China is really embedding itself further and further inside Bangladesh. And I think if China wants to maintain a relationship with India, I think India has the wherewithal to say to China, you want this? Here's what we need you to do. And they're not even asking for anything for themselves. They're saying, do the right thing for your minority citizens. And by the way, same thing with the United States. Obviously, the United States and China just signed a trade agreement. And doing these things would not only be the right thing to do, the just thing to do for the people who've been victimized by this terrible prejudice, by this horrible violence, almost since the birth of Bangladesh. But in fact, it would be the geopolitically correct thing to do because we really should look seriously at just as you put it, at China's encroachment into Bangladesh and what that means for the geopolitics of the region.
Right, Dr. Richard Benkin, thanks so much for speaking to me on India Sense.